Albert Hoffman and the discovery of LSD. I don't know if on it's the right word. LSD's got a bit of a bad rap, I reckon. It's not that as addictive as other drugs.
Right, but didn't it make people do stupid things and jump off things and think they could fly and all of that?
Dr. Stephen Bright is from the Curtin University School of Psychology, and it is used in psychotherapy.
Okay.
Well, not here, but it has been used, and it was kind of put to the side. I think Richard Nixon might have been the guy that really did the war on drugs, and that kind of got chucked out at the same time.
Right.
Stephen, good morning to you.
Thank you for having me.
Right, just take us to the bicycle day. Was it true that, was he physically riding a bike after he actually injected this stuff, or took this stuff? How did he actually take it?
So what happened was he was investigating chemicals that might be effective to prevent migraine, and he accidentally ingested a small amount 3 days prior to bicycle day, and he kind of had an idea of what he may have accidentally ingested through his skin, so he intentionally ingested LSD, the chemical that he thought he had accidentally ingested, on today, 1943, and he took quite a large dose, because in those days, drugs were dosed out in sort of gram ranges, so he thought he was taking a small quantity, but it was actually quite a large quantity of LSD that he took, and very quickly he realised that being in his lab was probably not the best place to be, and he hopped on his bike and rode home.
Okay, and hence the reason for bicycle day. What did he see on the way home?
He talked about having a very interesting experience. He had a difficult experience, I guess you would say, in terms of when he got home. He said the people's faces were distorted. I mean, he had ingested a very large amount of LSD, but in saying that did not deter him from further investigating the drug and taking smaller amounts of it later on.
LSD itself has been found in certain cases to help with mental disorders, and you are in the area of psychology. Do you believe that LSD would actually help some of your clients or some of the patients that you might treat?
Well, before, as you mentioned, Richard Nixon waged the war on drugs, and LSD was the first drug in his sights. So LSD was never banned because of evidence of it being a dangerous drug. It was banned because it was associated with the counterculture movement and the protests against the US being in Vietnam. Prior to that, LSD was found to be effective at treating a range of mental disorders in the context of psychotherapy, including addiction, anxiety and depression. And just 1 or 2 sessions of LSD psychotherapy were found to produce profound, rapid and long-lasting positive effects with little need for further interventions, unlike psychoanalysis, which was the other option available at the time. In addition, the reason why it's celebrated today is because the psychedelic properties of LSD led to a quantum leap in neuroscience through understanding how the brain actually works. It led to the discovery of the neurotransmitter serotonin and the first wave of antidepressant medication.
So you would be a believer that maybe LSD should be allowed in certain circumstances?
Absolutely, and in a controlled environment, LSD is not a dangerous drug, and we need to distinguish between the recreational use of LSD and the clinical application of it.
Right.
How do
you stop that from actually happening, though?
The line being crossed.
Well, I mean, we have this issue across society at the moment. We have drugs like morphine, OxyContin, dexamphetamine. These are all drugs that are used by medicines, but we put tight restrictions on them to try to reduce the potential of them being used recreationally.
Right, but you couldn't use it full stop at the moment because it's illegal, is that correct?
That is correct. In Australia, it is illegal. In saying that, there are trials. There is an international psychedelic science renaissance, and there are studies happening around the world, not just with LSD, but also with psilocybin and MDMA or ecstasy.
Right, we can tell you right into it, Dr. Bright.
Have you had a crack at it all, Stephen?
Well, look, to be honest with you, it's completely irrelevant to the conversation that we're having. I mean, what I'm talking about here is the evidence.
But we're curious, though. We're just, just as a couple of mates asking, have you ever given it a bit of a go?
Look, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. If I say that I do, then You will accuse me of being a hippie promoting...
Not in this country, of course.
And not in this context. No, well, we understand if you're advocating certain medicinal uses of it, that you might have had to give it a go yourself.
I have not. There is a protocol that's been developed for people such as myself to undergo psychedelic experiences in preparation to conduct psychedelic psychotherapy, but I've not been able to participate in that because Australia is really a black hole at the moment when it comes to psychedelic psychotherapy.
Well, I won't say on your bike, but we will celebrate Bicycle Day today. Good luck. Keep up the good work, Stephen.
Thank you very much for your time.
Good on you, Dr. Stephen Bright.
Dr. Bright.
Curtin University School of Psychology.
Now, this song, people thought that this particular song was actually a reference to LSD, but in fact, when asked about it, Sir Paul McCartney said, no, that is not correct. It was not about that. So the song, of course, is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, LSD.
Okay.
But actually, it was a song John Lennon penned, and it was a picture that Julian came home with from school or kindy one day.
Right.
And John said to